manipulations and turning them into swatches for trade sketches and figure garments. File open. I've made this file in Illustrator, 150 dpi. Okay. So the light colour and dark colour work quite differently, so I'll show you the light colour first. So select an area that you can use as your fabric tile. We can go Command Copy, make a new layer, Command Paste. So it's now in that layer. So we'll just sort of lock this layer. You can even turn that layer off and just work on this one. Make sure you select it. So this image, I might just copy it so that we've got two of them. So what you have to do is just get your Move tool, hold down Option or Alt on a Windows and drag. So one of them we could click on our adjustments and go black and white. And so that's turned it into a black and white image. We could also go Command L and work with our levels by lightening the background. Oops, make sure that you select it first. M for the marquee, select that. Make sure you're on the image and Command L. Use levels to lighten it so that it basically becomes line work is the idea. Something like that. Okay. We would come through and actually rub out bits that we don't want with just our eraser. So, you know, you can imagine how you do that. I won't do the whole thing because it'll take too long, but yeah, you can end up with quite a good line drawing, even if you just use 3 of these lines in your trade sketch. You know, if you want to put a little bit in that might be missing, you can copy it from another spot, say somewhere like that. Get the Move tool, hold down Option, copy it and move it into there, even rotate it. Command T, swivel it to fit, just so that there's no break in the line. Press Return or Enter, Command D, deselect. So yeah, that's how you get just black and white line. For your colour, we will, we're just going to merge these two layers together actually, because we'll use them as is. And you can't see my layers there. I'll just bring that over so you can see it. Click on the list, merge visible. Okay, so they're now in one layer and it's called black and white, which is handy. Okay, so colour, we'll just lock and hide this one now, turn this one back on. So colour, image, marquee, click and drag. It's normally a good idea to keep away from the far edges. I'm just going to move it over to this side, it's nice dark. Okay, so Command Copy, new layer, Command Paste, hide this layer, work on this layer. If you want to get rid of little marks like that, then you could just press J, and this is the spot healing brush. It just sort of fixes up little areas like that. You could also use your whoops, okay, so that didn't work. I'll just show you how to fix that. So if you do something like that, you can select the area you want to fix, move to another area that's a similar tonal value, hold down Option to copy it and drag it back up. There we go, fixed, Command D. There's lots of different ways of doing things. There's Command Control Edit, Fill, foreground colour, content aware is quite good as well. Oh, cancel. So we've got our swatch. Thing is, we want to colour it, so it doesn't matter that it's got a bit of tonal value. We want to see our first layer again because we actually need to look at our colours here. I'm going to choose a colour to colour it with. I think I will go, use the darker colours. Command copy. Okay, unlock, select. Actually, I might as well select the whole swatch. Command copy, come back to layer 2, Command 0, paste, and move tool. Where is it? I don't know where to put it now. Anyway, oh, there it is. So select the layer it's on and bring it over, and Command T, make it big enough to cover the area that you're trying to work with. Okay, so we don't want this layer, so we're going to lock that layer. So all we want are these two layers here. So just hold down Shift, select both of them, then press V, which is also the Move tool. So V is for Move tool, or you can click on the Move tool, hold down Shift, and we're going to scroll through the blend modes. Plus. So we're trying to find, actually we might turn off the eye on that one, not to confuse ourselves. So it should look like the fabric colour, not too bright, not too dark. I'm thinking multiply is probably the best one, so I'm going to stick with that. I probably want to lighten it a little, so I can come to my adjustments and come down to hue saturation. And I'm just going to take the saturation out, come down to lightness, lighten it a little. I think that'll do. And also I'm going to select area and Command L, Command L, levels, maybe bring out the line work a bit, lighten it like that. Okay, so that's done. Might also merge these two, so again merge the three. Okay, merge two, merge visible, and yeah, there we go. I also want to chop that out of that edge. Don't want that edge, so just in case you did make that too big, just select that and delete it. Okay, Command save. Save on your computer. Fabric save. Okay. Good idea with Photoshop to save before you do everything. Okay, we're going to turn this back on. So that's how you work with your light colours. Command D. With your darker colours, they're a lot trickier. This one, I think what we want really is the repeat of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 9 squares. So what we're going to do is select this, Command T, well, unlock, make sure you're on that layer, Command T, rotate, straighten it up. It's hard to tell if it is straight, so you can use rulers and bring those down. So they're under View, like in Illustrator, rulers, if you need to use them. Bring them out. Okay, the other thing that we've got happening is that the top row is actually not as big as the second row, which is a bit of a problem. So what we need to do is actually stretch that out. So I'm going to select above the stitching and go Command T and just stretch it so it's a bit deeper. I'm just guessing how deep that is, so hopefully it's right. Command D. And the other thing that we're going to do is just select around those 3 squares. Select a bit more than what we need. We'll zoom in a little bit as well so we can see what we're doing. And we're going to use warp to get it to straighten up a bit. So bottom line's pretty straight, the side line isn't, this side isn't. So if we just click and drag that out, that's pretty straight. This one needs a little bit of straightening there. You know, in the meantime, I've sort of stretched it a little bit there. Pull that one down a little bit. Bring this one in a little bit. So I think that's reasonable. This one's a little bit crooked. Anyway, we'll hope that that's right. Command D. And the other thing now is we've probably done with that being so light there. So we've got options where we can just sort of select over, you know, the whole scene and either copy, you know, something like that into there, or we could try edit, fill, content aware, see what happens. Yeah, it's sort of not quite what we wanted, but it's not bad. We can maybe Command D, J tool and just sort of fix that little bit there. Don't know where it got the red from. Yeah, fix that red bit. Okay, no problem. Select a bit that we could use. So select that bit up there. Hold down Option to copy and drag it down. Okay, Command D and J again, just to smudge out those corners. Picking up that red again. Anyway, something like that'll do. Because remember it's being reduced as well. So we've got that. Oh, I just saw this little red thread popping out. I don't think that's meant to be there. Okay, so we've got that. What we need is 1 row of stitching, 2 rows of stitching. So we just, actually we might use the row on the bottom rather than the top, and we're going to select across to there. Okay, so Command X, come back to our layers, new layer, Command Paste. Okay, so we've got a nice fabric swatch there to use. We can duplicate that layer because we're going to want to turn it into line work layer. Just going to lock all the layers we're not using just in case, always a good idea. Also going to hide the other layers so we don't have any visual pollution. If we want to get rid of the rulers, come up to View, Clear Guides, get rid of them. Okay, so this I've tried before and there's lots of different choices in filter, and the best one I found was Find Edges. The other thing is we need to get rid of the colour, so we just go black and white. And really, it's not ideal, but it's probably the closest we're going to get to something similar to this. I would suggest that you open this up in Illustrator, draw these sort of odd lines creating the split shape, and just put the stitching lines in, and then use it as a fabric swatch. I'll definitely trace it because I don't think that you're going to get an ideal image from Photoshop, but it gives you a base to work on. So that's what I'd suggest there. So there are your fabrics. Again, you know, select both the layers that you want to merge down, merge visible. So that works only because the other's eyes are turned off, so remember that. So we've got our colour, got our black and white, got our black and white of the black one, got our colour of the black one, and our original colours. So just saying we wanted to come through and recolour this one again. We've still got this swatch over here. I'll just make it smaller. So we've still got this swatch that we can copy and add different colours to for the different colourways that we have. So we have green, blue, green, violet, and a tealy sort of colour that we would need to change all of these swatches to so that we can add these to our colour figures. When they're finished, all you have to do is unlock the layer and select it and go Command A. Oh, hang on. What am I doing? Just move that out of the way. So just say it is the colour one. Just get your marquee, select over what you want to use. Command copy, go to your Illustrator file. I'll just open one I worked on recently. File, open recent, my figure. Reckons it doesn't exist. Okay. File, open. So I've opened my colour file and I can paste that in here. So now I have two of the different colourways. These are my colourways up here. I'm going to use this image as my background for my layout. So on this page it has everything that you might want. You can even sort of find the fonts that you might want to use and use them here. This one's Garamond. If you've got any other typing, normally you use one font as your heading for your layout and then you use a plainer font. Like, I think WGSN is a great place to find font mixtures. They're very modern. And also you can Google font pairing 2020 and that will give you options of different fonts that you can use together and it will tell you what their names are. You can go and download them to your computer, but remember that if you do type something in an imported font that you need to, in Illustrator, select the font and convert to outlines. Where is it? I'm in Photoshop. Anyway, if I was in Illustrator, it would say convert to outlines, create outlines. Okay, well, that's it on fabric swatches.